Welcome back everyone to another episode of Let's Play Wostrelcraft. And in the last episode we worked on the Nether Hub, and we will be working on that again today. But first I kind of wanted to show you around my base. Now I've done a little bit of work between the last episode and this episode, and did a little bit of remodeling, a little bit of decorating. I've added a chandelier in my entrance, got some sea lanterns in the areas underneath the windows on the front and here in the upper floor. I added a wall here that divided the upstairs in half and gave me a bedroom. Now in my bedroom I have put in a piano and I have an area for my bed. A little bit of minor decorations here and there, and it just makes this tremendously better in appearance. And I've been trying to figure out what I wanted to do with this space anyway. So it looks a lot better. Unfortunately, my carpet, you know, you can't put carpet and a fence posts together. So, you know, that kind of makes it look bad, but we'll deal with it. So in the downstairs, I've added a little bit of things too. You'll notice all of the torches are gone in the downstairs. And that is because under my carpet here, I have some hidden sea lantern lighting. And then in the kitchen, I have placed some, I would call them fluorescent lights above the countertop. I removed the torches here in the living room and put recessed sea lanterns into the walls. And also behind this painting, you can't tell, there are some sea lanterns there as well. So I've just been doing a little bit of work here on the base, and I guess on the outside I did a bunch of stuff too. So I added these white stained glass panes into the corners, and I thought it looked so good that I was going to put it all the way around, put lamps to keep the mobs from spawning on the ledges, and I think that it kind of looks like beacon beams shooting up out of the ground and then hitting the ceiling, and I think it looks really cool. So I did that on the front side here and then on the other side as well. You can kind of see them here. I'd have to go a long way around to actually look at them. But we're going to do some work on the Nether Hub, and we're going to actually work on the train station itself. So I'm going to go ahead and get over to the Nether, and we will take a look at what we got going on over there. So I was trying to decide what I'm going to do in here. I was making these arches, and I think they look pretty nice. And they go down, form a very similar design as to what I've got just about everywhere else. And I was trying to decide, you know, how am I going to do the redstone? How am I going to do the sending rails and the receiving rails and all of that? And then I just had an idea that was the simplest thing that there is. I have 4 different tunnels here, and I've thought about it, and I've decided we are going to have 4 different sets of rails going out here. One going north, east, south, and west, or starting here with the north one. I'm not sure, depends on how I look at it. And we'll have 4 different platforms that you can come up on and launch the minecart from that individual platform. And I'll put in some signs indicating what destinations are contained on that particular rail. And maybe I'll put a simple redstone contraption for selecting, you know, if there's only 2 or 3 destinations, that you can select the one that you want. But if there's multiple destinations, such as we are running into now with down this tunnel that I've blocked off right now, I think what we'll end up doing with that is at the most prominent intersections, we will put in smaller substations. You know, of course, it's not going to be anything nearly as grandiose as this, but it'll be something simple as, you know, you come up to a cactus, it dumps you out, you're standing right in front of a selection area, you select which direction you want to go from there, whether it be back to the main station or out to one of the other destinations, and then you get back in the minecart and off you go again. So I'm going to do a little bit more work here. I've got to finish the ceiling and come down the walls here. And I also still need to move down the portal for Dwaz's summer home, continue the path down here so that we can go into his place. And also I am going to put the tracks, I think I'm going to put them down 1 block, and then the platforms will be down half a block. And that should make it to where I don't have mobs spawning in here, and I'll be back in a bit. So I came back to my base to grab some resources, and I just love it when people play pranks. So every single item in my item frames have been rotated. Looks like just 1 click. Well, they missed the jungle wood. I was trying to straighten out the glass here, and I don't know if that's the right direction, but yeah, that's kind of that's actually pretty creative of a prank. So I've got to give credit to whoever did that. I wish they would have at least left a sign saying who did it, but you know. Anyway, making some progress on the train station. Not quite there yet, so be back in a bit. I got the platform area finished up here. Didn't know for sure what to do with the lighting here. I was a little unhappy that I couldn't put things on the side of the sea lanterns, so I had to use a glowstone. But I think these look good. This is a banner idea that I picked up from Wostrelcraft. And, you know, it's just a gradient down of white on a red background, then a gradient down of red on the same thing, and then a red border. It's pretty simple. And I made these walls. This wall over here was the one that set up the design, and then I just copied it on this side. So over here, I've made the tunnel going over to Dwaz's summer home, and he obviously likes it. So I put in some arches here and lighting above so that it looks good. This is all half slabs, so we can't get spawns, and then there's the portal, of course. I still need to finish the end of the tunnel, and I'm thinking about making these longer panels instead of the shorter ones for all the length. I think it'll work out a little better. But I am going to keep working on the tunnels here, and I think I'm probably going to do a time lapse on that because there's a lot of work to do, and otherwise I think the episode would just be way too short. So we're going to get into that in just a bit. So all the more that was one tunnel going from this main train station out to the first of several destinations on that particular track. This is going to be a huge amount of work. But I have added a few other little details here at the train station itself. First off, I have added these suspended signs, and I have platforms 1, 2, 3, and 4. And for those Harry Potter lovers in the audience, I added platform 9 3/4. But the signs behind, I have put down what the destinations are on that particular tunnel. So this one will go north, and the only destination north right now is the jungle. Over here we have the east line, which has a lot of destinations. It has the desert, the mesa, the blaze farm, the nether fortress, the guardian slayer, and the ice spikes biome. So we've got quite a few things to go to there. The south line actually has nothing currently. And the west line, which is already finished for the minecart launcher, runs to the end portal, the nether roof, Wanderer's Chateau, and his ocean monument. So I spent a huge amount of time trying to figure out how to make this system work. Now, the one thing that I have been trying to do through this entire build here in the Nether is keep zombie pigmen from spawning. Hence the reason I have glass on top of the tracks. Everything is half slabs. I've put carpet for grass instead of actual grass. I have leaves. Nothing here is spawnable. So I was trying to figure out a way to activate the system without pressing a button, but without having a spawnable space. So this is a piston facing down, and this is a downward facing buds switch. So if we come over here and step on the string, we get a minecart, we hop in, and it launches. So the way that works is pretty complicated, but it has timing and a few other... Oh, it actually holds the bud switch from being able to be triggered a second time. It's a pretty complicated system. And once again, same with most of my redstone contraptions. If there is a request for it, I will do a tutorial. But as it is, I don't really feel that I'm going to do a tutorial for that. And then when we come back into the station, we get dropped right here. So there's a couple of things that I still need to do here to make this totally foolproof. First off, I need to figure out something that will keep the minecarts from possibly overflowing in the dispenser. And on the other end, I still need to set up the receiving stations. And also, like on this particular station, we have 2 destinations. And I need to set up something here, and I don't know where. Maybe I'll put it behind each platform? I don't know. But I need to set up something that will allow you to choose which destination you're going to. I am really getting a bit tired of working on this Nether hub, though. So I think we may finish the episode working on something else, or possibly even just to look around the server, because I know it's been a little while since we've done that. There's been a lot of builds and a lot of modifications, and that might actually be a good idea. So let me clear out my inventory, grab some ender pearls, maybe some swiftness potions, and I will be back. So I figured we'd start out our little tour in the center of spawn. And I happen to know that Craig has not done anything with his base because he seems to have issues with spawn. If he comes straight through the spawn portal, from the Nether, he gets booted from the server, and then he has a hard time getting back on. He can go to one of the more distant portals and then come in slowly from a distance, but that's just kind of a pain in the butt. So I'm not going to worry about that, but we will go over and take a look at Lexi's base. Right here, this little endstone monument was built by Wesley. It's got the Ender Dragon egg on it, and he's just trying to make something that would, you know, be a pedestal for displaying the Ender Dragon egg. And I don't know if we're going to keep it. It's got some interesting ideas, but we'll just have to see. I'd kind of like to put the Ender Dragon egg right above this beacon, because the egg is transparent, so you can put it on top of a beacon. So one thing that we have done is we have gone out and gotten some horses. So this horse is Wesley's. I have a couple over in the barn, and Craig also got one. Here in Wesley's base, he has added a little room here off to the side. He's just trying to expand his base a little. You know, there's his item sorter there, and it looks like he's gotten down to here, and that's about it right now. And possibly he's thinking of doing some more down here. I don't know for sure. So we'll go back out here, and big one, I haven't even looked at it for a little while, is Dwaz's base. And he's pretty good at making some really nice decorations. I don't really see any major changes from the last time that I looked in here. But one thing that I can say that he has added is on the outside, and that is Project Rainbow version 2.0. And this is just a little bit better version of the Project Rainbow. We got a couple of lime sheep in with the yellow. And a couple of blue in with the light blue. Must be crossbreeding across the fences or something. But he put in these stained glass panes here where it's open to the outside, and then wool of the appropriate color for the sheep behind each pen. I think that looks really cool. And of course we have the colored carpet on the front of the pen and the white carpet in between, so that you can jump from pen to pen and shear all the sheep. And we've got the storage system here. He changed the storage system, putting the wool type right next to the chest. So it's really easy to tell if you wanted to come in and get some lime wool. You know exactly which chest to go looking at, and if you've gone ahead and come through here and sheared all the sheep, it's very easy to put the wool in the appropriate chest. And also he set it up in such a way that if you have an empty inventory and go around and shear the sheep, the chests happen to be right in the same order. You just go right up and down the line of chests, and you just shift click in one stack after another. So that's kind of nice. We still will need to clean this area up a little. You know, you'll notice, if you know anything about birch trees, these trees are too tall for a birch tree. So we'll probably want to cut all of these down and maybe do a random tree placement. This was originally birch forest right up to this line, and then this is swamp on this side. So I don't know for sure. Maybe we'll put some oak on this side and the birch over here and just get it back to its original state. But we'll just have to see what we're going to do there. Big farm hasn't had anything done to it. I guess I do have ender pearls. We might as well use them. Whoops. Hit a tree. So, well, we'll go up here and take a look out here. So this behemoth up here that is starting to be built is Tango Tech's Iron Titan. And Wesley started building this, and I'm hoping that he will continue working on it. If not, I may have to take over the project. But it would be really nice to have the unlimited iron that would supply us. So that's something that I hope to see finished fairly soon. So if we come in here, oh, the sugarcane farm just fired. So in here we have some horses in the chicken pen here. These are my horses, and I bred 2 of them, and I have not seen how the third one is. I may have to do a little testing on those horses, see which ones are good, which ones I want to keep. But we have a whole bunch of cows in here, and we're pretty much out of sheep, but we don't need them over here anymore. So down below we have our automatic cow farm, and this is a really simple system to work. Let's see if we have, I don't think we have any wheat. So what you do is you just have wheat in your inventory. You'll push this button to breed the cows, and it shoots water out under the cows and they start bouncing. And so because they're bouncing, you'll hit different cows constantly with the wheat, and they breed, and the baby cows fall off down on the sides. When you push the other button to cook, did I not hit the right button? It momentarily spits out lava, sucks it back in, and so any baby cows will just stand there and be okay. Adult cows will catch on fire, burn, and then their steak and leather is picked up by hoppers underneath and collected into this chest. So next to it here we have an automatic sugarcane farm, and we built this so that we could have books for the end, and it had very rapidly overfilled our demand for books. So that's good. Dwaz built this. I am really happy with it. Dwaz and I built the cow farm together, so it worked out real good. Right here I have a tunnel coming from my item sorter, and in the very near future I will be extending my item sorter further down this hallway, because I do need to get more chests for the various items that I'm collecting. I am getting a huge amount of stuff in here that I should be sorting out. Stairs and slabs, various items that really should not be stored in these chests. But I have changed this particular chest from eggs to packed ice, because I am starting to use packed ice in the nether in places. But we'll go ahead and head back out. So Dwaz just absolutely loved the effect that this glass added to the edges of my base. So I'm really happy with the way that it looks. I think my base looks really nice. I probably won't do too much in changing on it anymore. The only thing that I've really got left to do is this area here, and I just really don't know what to do with it. If you guys have any suggestions, you could leave it in the comments and I can see what I can do. But this tunnel here, which originally ran to Wandering One's base, I went ahead and finished out the top here, and I need to go through now and change all of this glowstone to the sea lanterns, now that we have unlimited sea lanterns. But here it turns, and this tunnel we need to finish, but this goes over to Lexi's base. And I know she's been doing a little bit of work here. I hadn't seen this before. So she's added a whole bunch of leaves around here. Got some rose bushes. Not sure why she's got so much for leaves, but she's got, looks like oak and birch. Just a lot of leaves. Got her fountain here. And I think she was working on something over here off to the side. But we'll take a look inside of her base first. So she has a whole bunch of potted plants. That looks real nice. A couple of armor stands. I probably should build a couple of armor stands. I don't have any. I know I've got a lot of junk armor to display, so maybe I could do something like that. Not sure what this is supposed to be. But her kitchen area looks kind of neat. One thing that I would possibly suggest is just removing that torch and putting like a sea lantern or a glowstone underneath her ender chest. That would be what I would do. So we'll go upstairs and take a look. So she's added a bedroom. She's made a couple of banners. That looks kind of neat. A mushroom in a pot. That's funny. Not a very good view out of that window. But that's the way that it goes sometimes. So right here she has a storage room. Oops. Got, she has an overabundance of furnaces in her base. But that's okay. And then over here, I guess she has a little deck to look out over her area. Now, I hadn't seen any of this before, so I'll have to go take a look at that. She obviously has a little wheat farm. And I think she was trying to get some rabbits, so we'll have to see if she's gotten any of them. So, she used to have a chicken house here. So, oh, rip, cluck, cluck. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good. So she's got a wheat farm here. That's kind of nice. Oh, there's a chicken out there in the water. And then up here, what has she got here? Like a little guest house or something? Or is it just an entrance to the mines? I don't know. So she's got some water, lava. Oh, it must have burned some wood. I wonder, is there anything behind this? Yes, there is. So, yep, entrance to the mines. So we'll go ahead and close that back up. So, what's over on the other side? Mushroom and a birch sapling behind glass. Interesting. That actually looks pretty cool. It's different. Guess I didn't even notice those logs there. But so, yeah, that's kind of an interesting little room. So next stop will be a little ways away, so I will be back when I get over there. So next up is Alyssa's base, and she has added some windows, which is good, and removed the carpets. So I don't know why she did that, but she removed her carpets, added some windows, and piles of wool. I don't know what that's about. But on the outside, she has added this building, which is an entrance to her mine. And back here, further back, she has added this little building, which she has listed as a storage house. It has one chest in it with netherrack. So, that's not much, but it's something. So here we have a few little farms. Never did figure out how those were supposed to work, but we have some hoppers and carrot and a birch sapling. So that doesn't really work, but it's something. So next stop is going to be over here. We're going to need to come and fix some creeper holes. So we're going to come over here by Dwaz's base again, and right here he built this retaining wall because this particular hill was always just a pain for him to deal with. I didn't notice this entrance before. It's a back entrance to his house. That's what it looks like. So he had built this retaining wall, and then 6'5" came in and built this path. I think it looks pretty neat, actually. But so we'll follow this path out to 6'5"'s base. And this is a base that I know that I have not actually shown on camera before. So it's this one. We've seen it from a distance, but never up close. So we're going to come over here. He built a pretty long path here, but this portal links to one of them right in the Nether hub. So he's added some little designs here on the front. This is something that I hadn't even seen until just the other day. Then he's got this really neat diagonal staircase. I really like that. Got a little flower garden here with some mossy cobble. Water effect. That's pretty neat. Nothing has changed up this direction that I know of, but he's got his farms, his cows, his tree farm, all of that stuff, and there are some cows up in the mountains still. So inside, I believe this is something new. He's got a triple wide door, which still is not overly easy to get through. If you hit the double door there, it's not bad. But so he did another of those diagonal staircases there. And he has a patio of sorts here. You can look out over, you can see that's Project Rainbow. And, from my base, you can see this, but from this, you can't see my base. That's interesting. So up here on the upper floor, he's got his bed, surrounded by some acacia slabs. His original iron armor. And I wish that I could have kept my original iron armor, but I think it broke. So that's just the way that it goes. So if we go down into the basement area, he has this big window that looks out over spawn. And then in the back here is his storage area, and I believe this is actually increased by one set of chests since the last time I looked at it. He has some furnaces in the floor. Actually, he's baking some potatoes. But back here he has his brewing with netherwort and enchanting. Over here is the back entrance to the nether portal. And then there's one other thing to show here, and that's his water entrance. And I think this is a rather unique design, and Craig liked it so much that he went ahead and put this into his chateau. So you can float a boat in here and come in, and that's pretty nice. So over here he's just got a chicken farm, nothing really major. But now we are going to go and take a look at Craig's new base. So that's going to be a long ways away, even through the nether. So I will be back when I get over there. So welcome to Chateau Wanderlust, and I have not been out here recently, so I am not sure what to expect out here. So this is Craig's water entrance, and goes around both ways. It's kind of unique. Here he has his horse, which he and I actually went out together to go and get those horses. And I think in one of his streams he said that he was kind of designing his base to accommodate horses now. So that's kind of interesting. He's got the 3 wide paths, and then of course you have to make sure that you have at least, I think it's 4 on an incline, so that you don't suffocate. So here he's got some storage. There's a fair amount of storage here. And looks like room for more storage and a bed. Not a lot going on there. So this is his mine area, and I'm willing to bet that he's done this very similar thing here. Yeah. So he's done a very similar thing here to what we did at spawn. Just clear cutting. Yeah. No, he's got it kind of strip mined. But I do know that he has actually been working more on his Guardian Temple recently. So we're going to head off that direction and see what he's got going on out there. And that is a pretty big portal. So he's got the inside completely cleared out. I see a huge amount of Guardian Thorns and tail fins sticking through the wall. So there is a lot of them out there. I guess there's still a little bit here that he didn't clear out of the inside, but that's not that big of a deal. So I think he's actually planning on just mining the whole thing out. Yep, so he's just been filling this in, sponging out the water, and then just mining everything out. So I don't know what he's planning on doing with it. If he's just gathering the resources or if he's going to build a spawner of sorts. I'm not sure, but we're going to come up here to the top and take a look and see what's going on up here. So he's got the pretty standard dump the lava on the surface thing going on here. And I happened to watch him while he was streaming here the other day and saw him finish the outside encasing of this. So no guardians can be found on the outside anymore, which is real nice. But, you know, it's been a lot of work for him doing this. I know it was a huge amount of work for me to do mine. Now, thankfully, I had some help. And so I kind of feel for Craig doing that himself. But it's one of those things, you know. Got a big project, and it takes a while. So there was one place that I did forget to go to earlier, and that was Dwaz's summer home. And it's going to take me a little while to get back to the Nether Hub, and then we can go ahead and take a look at what he's got going on there. And this is Dwaz's summer home. One thing that I really like about this build is the fact that it's not very intrusive on the environment. And in fact, if you're walking along here, you actually can miss this build, even as big as it is standing out here, because it doesn't show up out in the world very much. But he has some gardens going on here back in this area. Let's see, is it right here? Whoops, that is not what I wanted to do. So back here, if I can get in here, these vines just are not liking me. He has a whole bunch of animals. He has a ladder going down into the depths of the world, and up above he has a little bit of storage, some minor decorations, a bed. You know, it's pretty nice. Through here is a little viewing area for the outside, some stairs going back down to the garden. I'm not sure why he has so many doors there. I'm sure he had a reason. Man, I'm not having a good time with these ender pearls. But anyway, guys, I think we are going to go ahead and call the episode here. So, thanks for watching. As always, if you liked the episode, don't forget to give it a like. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye.